everyone, and good morning, afternoon, or evening. Today we'll be reading some Am I the A-hole stories, so get comfortable and let's jump right in. Am I the a-hole for, quote, showing up my brother's girlfriend by getting him a birthday gift he liked more and not warning her I was getting a big gift? I, 25F, have a twin brother, 25M. Growing up, our favorite pastime was building Lego together. Our family couldn't afford it often, so the sets we had were treasured, and we'd always buy bags of those loose bricks from charity shops whenever we saw them. It was a major bonding time for us making things together, and my brother claims that those days of playing Lego is what inspired him to go on and become an architect. It was our birthday on Friday, and we had a small thing with family. My boyfriend of 3 years, 27M, was there, and so was my brother's girlfriend of 2 years, 24F. During the gift exchange, we left each other's presents to last as we always have and opened our respective gifts. They were very nice and enjoyable, nothing to complain about on either side. When we exchanged gifts, however, it led to some thoughts and delight on both sides. I got him the new Schwanstein Castle Lego set, and he got me the Notre Dame Lego set. He clearly loved his gift and was going on about how excited he was to build it and how he'd been spending the next day off working on it. He showed a lot more enthusiasm for this than the watch his girlfriend got him, though he clearly liked that too. Since then, his girlfriend was reaching out to me, insisting I tried to show her up deliberately by getting him a gift he'd like more, how she was trying to treat him like an adult with her gift while I was encouraging him to be childish. She also thinks we somehow planned this gift exchange as we both got Lego for each other. I had to tell her no, it's just something we've always enjoyed together and it's natural we do this. I also told her that I had no intention of showing her up, but if she really wanted to win the day with gifts, she could have considered his interest and not worried about what seems appropriate for an adult. She then pivoted to the fact that she is his girlfriend, and I should have warned her that I was getting an expected gift. I pointed out my brother didn't warn my boyfriend, but she insists that didn't matter, that I should have. Was I in the wrong for not giving her a warning and leading to her feeling, quote, shown up as a result? I've never felt like I need to give the warning when my brother dated, but maybe I should have? OP here is definitely not the a-hole. He just wanted to get his brother a nice gift, and it's not his fault that his girlfriend felt undermined by the gift she got as if he didn't feel as appreciative. Now on to story number 2. Am I the a-hole for telling my brother it takes 2 to tango? I'll try to keep this as short as I can. Apologies for any spelling mistakes. My 28M older brother, Cameron, 34M, has been married to his high school sweetheart, Alina, since they were both 19. Alina grew up in a very conservative Christian household where she was one of 11 children and her mother stayed at home whilst her father worked to provide for the family. Alina has always wanted to follow in her mother's footsteps and be a stay-at-home parent with a large brood of kids. When my mother, Cameron, and Alina first announced their engagement, everyone in my family told Cameron that if he really wanted that type of lifestyle with Alina, he would need to work really hard, especially in a tough economy. Cameron was not concerned and said he had a plan. To this day, I still have no idea what his plan was. Fast forward to now, Alina and Cameron have 5 kids, with a 6th child on the way, but they are struggling a lot financially. He has borrowed money multiple times from my parents, and my parents give in every time because they feel guilty about their grandkids going without. Cameron called me last night to vent about it, saying how he was sick of her and tired of working his butt off. He confessed to me that he's secretly upset about the news of the 6th child because he was trying to convince Alina to get a job, but now she's pregnant again and there's no way he will be able to convince her. This is where I may be the a-hole. I told him that I understood his frustration and his wife was partly to blame, but he knew that Alina wanted stay-at-home mom with lots of kids when they got married, and it's not as though he did anything to prevent the 6th child from being conceived. He asked me what I meant, and I said, well, it takes 2 to tango. He cussed me out, then hung up. I'm not sure if I'm an a-hole, but I was trying to convey that he has some agency in his marriage, and he can't blame the horrible situation entirely on his wife. Am I the a-hole? OP here is absolutely not the a-hole. The husband knew what he was getting into when he married Alina. Alina made her wants very clear, and he agreed to them. And now that push comes to shove, he's regretting his decisions and is no longer happy in the marriage or the family. He should have taken more time to consider what both he and Alina wanted and if it was something he could truly live. Now, onto story number 3. Am I the a-hole for refusing to give up my parking spot to a neighbor after finding out he lied about needing it? I am 34F, currently living in a condominium building where there are assigned parking spots for everyone. My assigned parking spot is located near the entrance, which is important for me since I have an injured knee from before and walking or going upstairs can be quite tough for me at times. Not long ago, about a month ago, a new tenant named Derek, 38M, moved into the building a couple doors away from me. After about 2 weeks, Derek knocked on my door saying he wanted to switch places with me because his mother, who stayed temporarily with him, uses a wheelchair and therefore requires his particular spot. I felt sorry for him and switched my place with his. We went to the building manager and did the switching officially. 3 weeks later, I didn't see any elderly woman or a wheelchair. I saw his girlfriend park there on a daily basis, and once I heard Derek was explaining another tenant in the hallway that he actually likes his spot more since it's closer to the elevator, and the other guy probably won't even notice anything. I was irritated at the time, but ignored it for a while. However, last week, my knee really hurt after falling on the ice, and the additional distance to cover was quite painful. I asked Derek if we could swap back places, as there did not seem to be any sign of his mother around. He started being defensive and insisted that a deal is a deal and that I would not be questioning his private affairs. When I pointed out that I have never seen his mother, he got mad and said I'm accusing him of lying, and yes, I probably did. I asked the manager to change her spots back as it was an unfair deal upon false information. The manager agreed and changed her spots. Derek is now saying that I backed out of my promise and complicated things, although he was the one lying and doing that in order to gain some advantage. My sister says I should have left everything as is because it was obviously he wanted it more and that I already made my choice, but I don't think so. Am I the a-hole for taking my spot back? Definitely not the a-hole here. OP specifically gave him that spot for his mother, who, assumingly, does not even exist. It's specifically meant for his girlfriend or himself and saying he likes the advantage. OP is in pain and he definitely needs that spot more. Now, onto story number 4. Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay my, quote, house sitter? A few weeks ago, I, 30F, caught up with a good friend of mine, Jen, 30F. She was telling me about how much of a nightmare her new landlady was. She would enter Jen's room without knocking, she timed her showers and tried to charge her extra for showers over 5 minutes. Most recently, she installed cameras in the kitchen and living areas, and uses them to watch/eavesdrop on the housemates while she's away. Jen said that she had a new place lined up, but had to wait because the room wasn't available for another month. My husband and I just happened to have an upcoming week-long trip planned. I told Jen that if she wanted a break from the nightmare situation, she was welcome to stay at our place while we were away for the week, and she gladly accepted. So, she arrives on the day we leave. I give her a key, and I tell her the fridge is full of wine and to help herself to anything around the kitchen. I showed her how to get into all our streaming services, and she said if she wanted to bring a friend over, she was welcome to. I trusted her judgment, and I told her to have a good time, then we left. We just got back yesterday. A few wine bottles had been opened and finishes as expected. The kitchen floor was a bit of a mess, but overall everything was fine. I later got a call from Jen asking when I would be transferring her the money for house sitting. I kind of didn't know what to say and paused awkwardly. I said that I thought we were doing her a favor by getting her time away from the house. She told me that her time wasn't free, and I'd expected I'd be paying her for something like $500 for the week. I ended the call saying that I'd think about it and we'd pay her later. I'm not sure, but this seems like a crazy request. I have no pets to feed, no plants to water, and she didn't do any of the housework. I even live like 30 minutes closer to work, so it saved her an hour of day in travel. And she wasn't stuck in the house. She was free to come and go as she wanted. Had I not known about an issue with the landlady, I would have just left the house vacant for the week. I texted her this morning, mentioning the points above. I didn't think it was reasonable that I pay her for the essentially a break for her. She's furious now, saying she was depending on having that money. So, I'm after your guys' perspective. Am I the a-hole for refusing to pay for her after staying at my house? OP is absolutely not the a-hole here. She was trying to do her friend a favor by getting out of her a nightmare landlady situation. Instead, Jen took advantage of that, saying she was house-sitting for the week she was supposed to be on vacation, saying she needs that money. But there was never any money involved, it was just a favor. Now, onto story number 5. Am I the a-hole for holding out and not telling him I'm pregnant to see where things land first? I recently found out I am pregnant, but I can't bring myself to tell him. We got pregnant last year. I told him right away, and told him not to tell anyone till we see the doctor and know all is good until after 12 weeks. Well, he didn't. He told his family, and 2 weeks later we found out it was a blighted ovum, and I had to go through the medical miscarriage process. It was awful. We started trying again, and after the waiting period, but every month it was coming up negative, and my period was extremely odd by getting a mini period after ovulation 3 to 4 days, then a full period 2 weeks after ovulation. And as the months went on, the relationship deteriorated. At the end of February, he moved out for a week, but we came back together. We decided to put trying on hold while we worked things out, so I backed up and I got on the pill. I took it the day I started what I believed was a period. And like clockwork, every month since, I take the inactive pills. I get a very light period, just like when I was on it before. Now to the dilemma. This month, when I took my inactive pills, nothing happened. I've been stressed a lot lately with deteriorated, again, so I chalked it up to that. And I just waited for it to come, because sometimes it's taken longer than I've been on the pill. Well, finally I did take a test and it came up positive. The problem is, I don't know how far along I am. Our relationship has started to go downhill again. We haven't done anything together, and I think at least 2 months. Though it could be longer, and unfortunately on Thursday we got into it and he's packed up and left again. So now I'm here, pregnant and alone. But I don't want to tell him until I know we're done or if he's coming home. And my reason behind that is, I don't want him to come back just because I'm pregnant. Because if he does come back for just that, it's never going to work and it's going to be a problem. But I'm feeling guilty not telling him. But if something's telling me to not say anything till he makes a final decision if we're getting back together or not. So I just need to know others' opinions. Do I tell him, and if he comes back, will he wonder if he only came back because I'm pregnant? Or I just wait and let him know if he's coming back. If not, then tell him. TLDR, just found out I'm pregnant. No idea how far along I am. I'm anywhere between 2 and 4 months. The day my boyfriend and I got into an argument, he packed up and left, deciding if we're going to come back together or just being alone. Would I be the a-hole if I didn't tell him about the baby until a final decision is made and we're coming back together, or broken up for good as to not influence him coming back? Edit to add, I've been tearing through my stores to find an old fetal Doppler to maybe estimate how far along I am. It was either rated for 12 plus weeks or 14 plus weeks. Though I can't remember exactly, it's been so long since I bought it and it has no info on it to look it up. My thought, no HB means less than 12 weeks and I have options. HB means over 12 weeks and in my state there is no option. But I switched out the battery, put some aloe vera gel on it since all I had, put it on, and within 3 seconds there was a fetal heartbeat of 153. So yeah, please excuse me while I have a crying moment, then I will get to everyone's comments. OP is not the a-hole here, and I'm really sorry for her. This is an incredibly difficult situation to be in, especially since the boyfriend is on and off. You're not wrong for not telling the boyfriend, but at the same time, I feel like he has a right to know since it's his child. Once OP decides how far along she is, I think then she can tell her boyfriend. I wish OP the best here, and I hope she has a long, healthy life with her baby. Now, onto story number 6. Am I the a-hole for secretly getting engaged, secretly getting married 2 months later, then telling everyone afterward? My husband, 29M, and I, 27F, have apparently caused a lot more drama than we expected. Now, I'm wondering if we were the a-holes. A little backstory. When we first started talking about getting married, we considered doing a small destination wedding where anyone who wanted to come could. But the more we looked into it, the more overwhelmed I became. Planning the wedding felt incredibly stressful, expensive, and honestly, it started to feel like the day was becoming more about everyone else than about us. My husband truly didn't care what we did as long as we got married. I, on the other hand, realized I didn't want to spend months stressing over guest lists, seating charge, family expectations, budgets, hurt feelings, and all the other things that seem to come with weddings. Finances also played a role in our decision. My husband has a significant amount of student loan debt from medical school, and I also have a student loan for my doctoral program. While we could have made the wedding happen, we both felt like putting tens of thousands of dollars toward one day didn't make sense where we are financially. We'd rather put money toward our future and paying down debt, so we made that decision. We got engaged and didn't tell anyone. About 2 months later, we went on an Alaskan cruise, found a pastor through my husband's church, and got married in Alaska, surrounded by the most incredible scenery. It was literally just the 2 of us. The pastor, the captain of the boat who dropped us off, he and another person served as our witnesses, plus a photographer and videographer. Our vows were completely private and directed only at each other, which ended up being one of my favorite parts of the entire experience. It was peaceful, intimate, and exactly what we both wanted. When we got back, we basically surprised everyone with, "We're engaged," and actually, we already got married. Their reactions were mixed. My mom was heartbroken that she didn't see me get married. My husband's very Catholic parents were disappointed that not only were they not there, but they also didn't get married in front of a Catholic church. Our friends all seemed excited at first, but after the initial shock wore off, we definitely got the feeling that many of them were hurt that they weren't included. Nobody really lashed out, but the vibe was very much, "We're happy for you, but we wish you could have been there." From our perspective, we didn't do it to exclude anyone, or because we didn't love our family and friends. We generally wanted a day that was ours without the stress, expectations, or financial burden of planning a wedding. We also know that once people were engaged, everyone would naturally have opinions and expectations, and we wanted to avoid all of that. That said, I completely understand why people are hurt. Weddings are important to families too. I know parents often dream about seeing their children get married. Looking back, I can see how announcing it after the fact may have felt like we robbed everyone of the chance to celebrate us. It has been our intention to have a vow renewal after 10 to 15 years of marriage, when we're more financially secure, and I've paid off a significant portion of my husband's medical school loans. We would love to celebrate with all of our family then, without feeling like we sacrificed our financial goals early in our marriage. So, am I the a-hole for getting secretly engaged, secretly married, and only telling everyone afterward? I'm gonna go with no a-holes here. OP has the right to have a private marriage, and there's nothing wrong with that. On the contrary, the receiving end, the family and the friends, have all rights to feel like they were excluded, but that really wasn't the case. OP wanted a private wedding, and friends and family wanted to see them get married. Both have the right to feel hurt, but I don't think OP should be very guilty about it considering she did what she wanted, and that's all that matters. That comes to the conclusion of today's stories. If you enjoyed, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye!